Oh my God, I brought all of this too. I'll cry. For over a decade, I have worked as a marine and habitat restoration ecologist in Cabo Verde. Living in tents for 4 months a year without fresh shower water or toilets. Waking up at 4 a.m. and walking 8 kilometers every day to save sea turtles. They often get lost when they come to shore to nest. We would wet them with salt water to save time and return them to the sea because of the sun. They were often exhausted after a night of walking. Due to the arid conditions on the island, fresh water had to be sourced from the main island to ensure we have water to drink, travel in these small boats, and carry everything to the tents. From water and food supply, design methodologies, and ensuring safety is the work of a research camp coordinator. And since I share my birthday month, September, with this sea turtle and seabird season, all my birthday parties were with my team. This was my reality for 7 years as a camp coordinator back home. Home is Cabo Verde, a small island nation off the west coast of Africa. My work was mainly on the island of Santa Luzia. Santa Luzia is a desert island in the archipelago of Cabo Verde, together with the two nearby smaller islands, Branco and Raso. It is home to multiple threatened and endemic species on land and in the ocean. I call this island Cabo Verde Desertas because desertas means desert, uninhabited. The Cabo Verde Desertas Island have earned a priority key biodiversity area status from the Critical Ecosystem Partnership Fund and have earned a spot on UNESCO World Heritage Site indicative list. In addition, BirdLife International designated Raso and Branco Island as important bird areas due to the importance and rarity of the bird communities they shelter. In 2003, the government of Cabo Verde acknowledged the ecological importance of Santa Luzia, Branco, and Raso by designating them as marine protected area. MPAs are areas of the ocean and part of land, safeguarded from certain human activities to preserve their natural resources. MPAs come in different shapes and sizes and have been used by coastal communities for resource management for centuries. The creation of an MPA needs to be followed by a management plan. However, even after 20 years, the Cabo Verde Desertas still lacks a management plan to safeguard its resources. Imagine being surrounded by breathtaking beauty, yet struggling with daily challenges. Pollution plagues the shores, threatening the survival of marine life, including the sea turtle caught in an abandoned fishing net. We were luckily in time to save the baby turtle. Adding to the complexity of the global pandemic caused enormous economic instability in Cabo Verde. With high levels of unemployment, younger people had to resort to every technique available to make a living, from extracting local natural resources without any consideration for long-term sustainability or environmental damage. The Cabo Verde Desertas need genuine protection and conservation efforts. An average of 200 artisanal fishermen relies on Santa Luzia waters as their main fishing grounds. These artisanal fishermen, who have used Santa Luzia since before it became a protected area in 2003, understand the need to ensure that its natural resources are sustained into the future. However, the baseline continues to shift, for younger generation of fishermen who lack experience and a long-term perspective for reference. Protecting the Cabo Verde desertage island and the ocean around them can improve fisheries management strategies by safeguarding critical fishing habitats and breeding grounds. But the government of Cabo Verde does not have enough funds to develop an effective management plan and enforce this protection. Until now, Cabo Verde desertage have been protected only on paper. But I want to help make this a reality. By combining policy, science, demographics, and economic data, I propose a holistic and innovative approach to secure part of the funds needed to manage Cabo Verde desertage. To understand the policies in place, I analyzed the legal framework that made Branco and Raso Island integral marine protected area. This means their land is fully protected, and the surrounding waters are up to 300 meters from the coastline. Santa Luzia is designated as partially protected to allow sustainable fishing for the neighborhood communities. On the science side, we have data showing the biodiversity hotspots in Cabo Verde desertage, which include a variety of species like osprey, sea turtles, larks, geckos, and sharks. Regarding demographics, there are 700 artisanal fishermen in 4 communities in São Vicente and 1 in São Nicolau Island. At least 200 of them use traditional gear, such as line and hook, which must be considered by those responsible for managing the island. From that, I built the management zones and regulation. The dark green shows fully protected areas, not allowing take or tourism, only the scientific purposes. The light green areas for moderate use, like tourism, gray for traditional use, just line and hook, fishermen, and pink for the administrative base, tourism and fishermen camp. From an economic perspective, different types of tourism could be explored to generate revenue for managing the protected area using the pink area, the tourist base camp. This could support conservation goals and provide tools for non-consumptive wildlife recreation, such as diving. I did a cost and benefit analysis of this potential to find out how much tourists are willing to pay for this type of recreation in other islands in Cabo Verde, here in San Diego, and Costa Rica, known worldwide as an ecotourism destination. Santa Luzia could bring over $57 million to Cabo Verde in ecotourism revenue within 5 years of implementing my proposed management plan. So I actually did 3 reports. A management plan, a biodiversity report, and a socioeconomic report to support the management plan. This holistic management plan would allow us to protect Cabo Verde desertage in a way that supports the economy and food security of several fragile coastal communities, while highlighting Santa Luzia as a responsible ecotourism destination. But I need to tell the decision makers in Cabo Verde about this. I now have over 200 pages explaining this management plan with all the scientific data and supporting evidence. But as I have learned during the past year here at Scripps, we need effective communication to link science and policy. So I created an online version of the management plan to communicate better the positive impacts it could have. Say I'm a government official trying to understand what supports this proposal. It starts by explaining the problem, my study area, the vision, and the proposed management plan. The resources and core values are presented in a video. The goals are presented in a sidecar and also the human-related threats. Based on this information, my proposal solution, a comprehensive zoning map. The 14 zones contribute to the action plan and the strategies. including the research and monitoring, operation and administration, enforcement and compliance, and ecotourism, education and outreach. Furthermore, for ecotourism, I use a digital maquette for special use areas, the pink ones, allowing the government to picture the possibilities. And the end, the technical documents for the decision-making to protect Cabo Verde desertas. My work in the field is challenging, but peaceful, I would say. However, now I want to work on a policy side to advocate against these paper parks, MPAs that exist only on paper. Together, through a combination of policy, science, demographics, and economics, we can safeguard Cabo Verde desertas for generations to come. By doing so, we will protect the biodiversity of Cabo Verde desertas, uplift the economy, and ensure the food security of our vulnerable coastal communities. Together, we can transform Santa Luzia into an inspiration for responsible ecotourism and set an example for small island nations like mine. I want to thank my capstone committee members, my chair, Samantha Murray, and my full committee, Corinne Almeida, Charlotte Carembouillet, Heidi Batchelor, Min Lee, and Mark Jacobson. Biosfera, Cabo Verde, my NGO, Oceans 5, for the technical and financial support. The MBC cohort, thank you so much. My family, my friends, to Oli and Lala. You can scan the QR code for this one.
I think she should earn an honorary PhD. I am not in a position to offer that. I surely would if I could. Yes. I've got a question, Patricia. What's different about this management plan from the one that folks tried to get passed several years ago that was unsuccessful? What's different about this one?
Yes, thank you, Samantha. They tried a management plan in 2010. This management plan has two different approach that I tried. First was the economics that wasn't in the previous management plan, or I would say 3. The ecotourism that also wasn't there, so it wouldn't be possible for the government to have enough funds for the previous management plan without the ecotourism part, and also the communication part that instead of 200 pages, that normally is a management plan, I didn't invent that. I tried this approach of a story map to inspire people to read, and if they feel inspired, then they can go to the technical documents and actually do the decision making. I think I want to say that probably this QR code is not working, but we can try another one. I can share the story map. It is? Okay, sorry. It was like, my bad.
Field ecologist to policy, why? Why the switch?
Thank you. I love to be in the field. I love on the field. And It's an uninhabited island, so it's normally just the scientists and the fishermen. It's very peaceful. But in the field, when you're there and you're working with the animals, you think you're accomplished a lot of data, but when you go back to the main island and to the government body, you see that your data is not being supported for the decision making. So having this knowledge about the field and through ocean line policy with Samantha, a law school, I want to try to make this switch and try to enforce the data that are collected in the field to be used to build this management plan. I'm sorry, I'm nervous that even my English doesn't go. It's not. The translation is very slow. Yes, Olivia.
I have to speak very loud so people on YouTube can hear me. Great job. It was super cool to see what you're getting up to this year. You briefly mentioned Costa Rica, and I know that Costa Rica has really important ecotourism. And I was just wondering if there are any successful stories, like management plans like that in different countries that maybe you got inspiration for yours or insights or anything really that you base yours on, so that we can like look at something that is happening already, that is working, and you can be like confident that it's going to work. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Olivia. I think the global 30 by 30 is a good initiative. It needs to have a little bit of other vision, African vision, but it's a good initiative. And I feel that a lot of the management plan that I was searching was from Pitcairn Islands, I hope is how you say that. And they have this huge project and amazing project and amazing success. Also, Fernando de Noronha in Brazil, a paradise for ecotourism. And I try to look into these management plans, also Madeira management plan in Portugal. And that's how I built this project. And I was lucky enough to do my internship with Wade also, and we work with the Blue program in Azores to try to set a guideline for how to build the management plans there. So some of the insights and lessons learned from the internship I also applied to this project.